Hi, thanks for joining us for our class today. So we're going to do a 30-minute workout class. We're really focusing on our glute strengthening today. So we're going to start by warming up those legs and bottoms in standing, and then we're going to come down into 4-point kneeling to challenge those glute muscles a little bit more, and then come round onto our backs and do a bridging movement and a one-leg stretch before finishing to stretch off those glutes really well, and then our upper bodies as well. So I hope you enjoy the class and we'll get started. So make sure you go at your own level and hopefully you'll feel like you worked hard today and most importantly, enjoy the class. So let's get started. So we're going to bring those toes apart and those heels apart, so those feet at hip width distance. Just to begin with, we're going to transfer that weight coming onto the front of your toes and then back onto your heels. So just nice and slowly forwards and back. Good, just looking to find that midpoint between those two movements. So my weight's going nice and evenly down through my feet. My knees are soft, so not locked back, just bend those knees slightly. Come up and just going to tilt that pelvis forwards and then tilting it back. So just a gentle movement forwards and back from here. Just looking to find that midpoint between those two movements. So our pelvis in that nice neutral position, fantastic. That core's gently engaged, those ribs are soft, collarbones nice and wide, and that neck is long and lifted from there. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to start off into a squat movement. So we're just going to bring those feet just a little bit wider, still bringing those knees pointing forward. So we're going to imagine our heading back onto a chair, so our weight goes back onto those heels. So we're dropping that bottom behind and then back up. Good. So sit that bottom behind and back up. Good. So really keeping that weight going through those heels as we're lowering down into that squat. Fantastic. So warming up through our legs here. Good. And back up. And again, dropping down, lifting up. If you can, we can bring those arms in front and lift up. Good. Dropping down and lift up. Drop back down and lift up. Lovely. Dropping down and lifting up. Do a few more here. Drop down, lift up. Keep those knees going forwards. That bottom, so it's going back behind you. That weight onto your heels. Good. And again, dropping down and lift up. Good. Okay, let's do one more here. We're going to drop down. We're going to hold this here. Now, if you can, we're going to come up onto your toes and then the other side. Good. So really working those legs hard now. So up on those toes and lower. Good. Alternating sides, lifting and lowering. Well done. Last one each side here. And then coming back to that center and then lifting those legs back up. Well done, work those thighs hard there. So those feet back to that hip width distance apart. We're going to do a standing clam movement now. So I'm going to have those toes just resting as that pivot point, those hips pointing forwards. I'm just going to open out through here and then coming back. So keeping those hip bones pointing forwards. We're opening out through that hip and back. Good. So it's just not a huge movement. We're just getting that motion doing that we often do with a clam when we're lying on our side. And just working through this side bottom muscle here as we're doing it. Good. Now, if you are comfortable here, then stay at this level. Or if you want to challenge it a little bit further, we can just put that foot onto our calf here. So we'll just hook it behind you. And we're just going to challenge this balance. So that leg you're standing on is working really hard to support you as well. Good. So opening out and back. Lovely. Let's do the last few here. Keeping that control. Good. And one last time. And then back. Well done. And lower back down. Very good. Okay, so we're going to do the same on the other side. So just start with that toes, that pivot point, those hip bones pointing forward. That core engaged, we're just opening out through that hip and back. Good. So again, working those side glute muscles, this glute med muscle, like we do with a clam. Keeping those hip bones pointing forward. So imagine you've got those headlights on those hip bones, keeping them pointed forward the whole time. Good. So either stay here, this feels comfortable. Or if you want to challenge it a little bit more, again, foot onto that calf, or just hooking that foot behind you. And just opening out. Now really challenging this leg, stability a little bit more. And working hard as well to support you. Lovely. Shoulders staying relaxed. Neck nice and long. Opening out through that hip. Good. Last few. Keep those hip bones pointing forwards. Good. Well done. And one last one. Coming back and then lowering back down. Very good. Okay, so coming back to those feet, that hip width distance, make sure that weight's nice and evenly through your feet still. Knees are nice and soft, cores engaged. We're going to go into our balance series from here. So we're going to float our hands up to shoulder height, neck nice and long, come up onto those toes, bend the knees, lower the feet and down. Good, and again, floating those hands up onto those toes, bend the knees, lower the feet and down. Good, and again, floating up onto those toes, bend the knees, lower the feet and down. Good, so all about that control. Keep those knees going forward. They shouldn't be widening or knocking together, keeping that hip width distance apart as we lower back down. Ribs staying soft, good. Floating up onto those toes, bend the knees, lower the feet and down. Good, and again, up onto those toes, bend the knees, lower the feet and down. And again, floating up. Very good, lowering down, back. Last couple here, bend the knees, down. Float the arms to join. Last one, up onto those toes, bend the knees, lower the feet and back down. Fantastic. Relax those shoulders, good. So we're going to work those side bottom muscles a little bit more. We're going to do a movement out to the side, an abduction movement of our hip. So keeping that pelvis nice and level, that core still engaged, I'm going to bring my leg out to the side. Now if that feels too much, you can keep that toe in contact with the floor and just toe tap it out. If you can, we're going to flex the foot and reach out to the side. Now keeping that pelvis level, it's not a huge movement, so don't try and go too far. Keeping that pelvis level, so hip bones pointing forwards as I'm opening out. Good, well done. Let's see if we can do 8 more here. So we're going to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then on this last one we're going to hold it here, and if you can we're going to do a few little pulses. Just go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower that leg down. Oh, well done. Okay, so we're going to do the same on the other side. So just from here, pelvis nice and level, core engaged, we're going to bring that leg out to the side and then back down. If you need to, you can keep it in contact with your mat, just toe tapping out. If you can, flex the foot, reach out to the side and then back down. Again, this is not a huge movement, so keep that pelvis level, not moving, that centre staying the same as you're reaching out to the side. Good. Okay, let's do 8 more. So we're going to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and on this last one again, we're going to reach out if you can. We're going to do 8 little pulses. So we go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower that leg back down. Oh, well done. Give those legs a little wiggle. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to go into some roll downs now. So you can come to the end of the mat from here. And we're going to just start by tucking that chin under, so breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that chin down, rolling those hands slowly down towards the floor. Now take a breath at the end here, and as you breathe out, slowly restacking back up into standing. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that chin down, rolling those hands slowly down towards the floor. Take a breath at the end here. Then as you breathe out, slowly restacking that spine back up into standing. Fantastic. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that chin down, rolling those hands slowly down towards the floor. Breath at the end here. Then as you breathe out, slowly restacking back up into standing. Great, we can do one last one and then we're going to come down from here. So breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that chin down, rolling those hands slowly down towards the floor. Just take a breath in here, just hold that. As you breathe out, sink down that little bit further. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, sinking down. And then we're just going to walk our hands slowly forwards and come down into our 4-point kneeling position here. and we're going to continue our class from here. Okay, so we've come down onto our mats into 4-point kneeling. So we're going to start by having those hands underneath those shoulders. Those elbows are nice and soft, so the insides of the elbows should be facing each other. Knees are underneath those hips, so in this sort of box shape. So just to start, we'll just do a few gentle cat stretch movements just to mobilise our spine. So just tuck that head under, arch that back up, flexing through the spine, dropping down and looking up. So again, just moving through those movements of the spine, flexing here and then extending. I'm just doing a couple here. Good, and then down. And I want you just to think about where that midpoint is between those two movements. So I'm going to look for that now. So my back is nice and flat, that midpoint. That tailbone just tucked under slightly. So we're still maintaining that neutral position of the pelvis. And that core is just gently lifted. So that belly button is just lifted up in towards my spine. Okay, so we're going to work our bottom muscles a little bit in this position today, and we're going to just bring one leg, so the knee stays bent, the heel coming up towards the ceiling, and we're going to do a few little pulses here to get our bottom working. So keep that core engaged, my back stays flat, and I'm just going to push that heel up to the ceiling, and I'm pulsing that bottom. So really pulsing here, breathing in and out, not holding that breath, as I'm just pulsing that bottom, and really extending that hip. Now my core staying engaged. It's not a big movement. You can see my hip doesn't move that far. I'm just pulsing that foot up towards the ceiling, pulsing here. Good. And again, lifting, lowering, just pulsing, really getting that bottom working. You should feel those glutes kicking in now, really working through here as I'm just pulsing that foot up towards the ceiling. Good. Few more. Really feel those bottom working. Well done. Good. Pulsing through. Excellent. Breathing in and out. Last few here. Good. One more breath in and out. And then lower that leg down. Oh, well done. Get those bottoms working. Okay, so I'm sorry to say we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to lift the opposite leg up, heel up towards the ceiling, and then we're pushing that heel up to the ceiling, pulsing that leg here, keeping that core engaged, that back staying flat as I'm pushing that heel up to the ceiling. Good. Core's engaged, back staying flat, that belly button lifted up towards the spine as I pulse the heel up to the ceiling. Keep that core engaged, pulsing through. Well done. Lovely. Keeping going. So it's not a big movement, remember. Again, that hip is moving. I'm extending that hip, but my back is staying nice and flat because it doesn't move that far, my hip, okay? So pulsing through. Breathing in and out, not holding that breath. Really feeling those bottom muscles working. Kicking in now, very good. Keep that core lifted, that belly button lifted up towards your spine. Pulsing through here. Good. Last few. Very good. One more breath in and out here. And then lower that leg down. Very good. Okay. So we're going to do a one leg circle in this position today. So we're going to stretch one leg away. So let's stretch that right leg away again. Now from here, we're going to circle around like we do often with a one leg circle on our backs. But really drawing that circle with your toes. And that circle is going to be as big as you feel you can control. So if you feel that you're losing that control around the pelvis, then make that circle a little bit smaller. We're just circling around, keeping that control. So I'm controlling that leg movement as I'm coming around in that circle. But as I say, if you're feeling that difficult to control, then make that circle a little bit smaller. Okay, so we're just coming around. Now let's change direction. Thinking about that as you're doing it, just changing that direction if you can. Controlling that movement around. Breathing in and out, not holding that breath as you're circling around through that leg. Well done. Breathing in and out, last few. And one more circle. And then coming back to that centre and bringing that leg back in. Very good. Okay, so we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So lengthen the opposite leg away. And again, from here we're circling around just as far as you feel you can control that movement. Good. Circling around from here. Remember, if you start to feel you just can't control that movement, just make that circle a little bit smaller. But I'm drawing the circle behind me. So I've got a paintbrush on those toes. I'm just circling around, keeping that control, keeping my pelvis level, okay? My back isn't arching. I'm keeping that control as I move around through the pelvis. Good. Controlling that through. Well done. Breathing in and out still as we're moving that leg around in that circle. Good. Okay, let's change direction. So good. Circling around. Last few here. Keep that control. Circling through. Well done. Breathing in and out. Well done. Last few. Really controlling that movement around through that circle. One more time. Coming back to that centre, lowering that leg down. Very good. Let's come off those hands. Drop down into this child pose stretch. So breathing in and out here. On that out breath, if you can, just sink down into that stretch a little bit further. Just relax those hands, relax through those shoulders. Just going to breathe in and out here. Good. Breath in. As you breathe out, dropping down, sinking down into that stretch. Well done. Breath in. As you breathe out, relaxing down into that stretch a little bit further. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, sink down that a little bit further if you can. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, sinking down that little bit further. Good. And again, breath in. And as you breathe out, relaxing into that stretch. Well done. One last time, breath in. And as you breathe out, just dropping down into that stretch. Good. And then we're going to slowly walk our hands back up. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to come down onto our backs now. So we're going to come round onto the mats. And just come down onto your back from here. Okay, so we're just going to start by finding that neutral position. So those feet and knees that hip width distance apart. Just like we normally do, we're going to find that neutral pelvis to start with. So just tucking that pelvis, dropping it down, tucking it under, dropping it forwards. So just tilting forwards and back, just looking to find that midpoint between those two movements, that pelvis in a nice neutral position. That core is gently engaged, those ribs are soft, collarbones wide, and that neck nice and long and lifted, arms just relaxed down by your side. Okay, so we're going to work these bottoms a little bit more and go into our bridging movement. So core is engaged, take a breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, use those bottom muscles, lifting up into that bridge. Take a breath in here. Then as you breathe out, peeling slowly back down to that start position. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, using those thigh muscles, lifting up into that bridge. Take a breath in here. Then as you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, slowly walking that back down to the mat. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, lifting and peeling that spine up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in here. Then as you breathe out, we're walking that pelvis down with that spine to the mat. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, use those bottom muscles to help lift you up into this bridge. Take a breath in here. Keep those bottom muscles engaged on that out breath as you slowly come back down to the mat. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, using those thigh muscles coming up. Breath in. As you breathe out, just peeling gently down through that spine, back down to the mat. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, use those bottom muscles coming up into that bridge. Take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, slowly peeling back down. Good, just a few more here. Tucking that pelvis under, use those bottom muscles, peeling up into that bridge. Take a breath in here. Then as you breathe out, just peeling gently back down, back to the mat. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, using those thigh muscles and those bottom muscles to lift you up to here. Breath in. As you breathe out, slowly peeling back down to the mat again. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, using those thigh muscles and that bottom to help lift you up into this bridge. Keep that pelvis drop. As you breathe out, slowly feeling back down. Last couple here. Tucking that pelvis under, using those toe muscles. Use that bottom to help lift you up. Keep that pelvis level, nice and flat here. And slowly on that out breath, peel back down. Okay, so we're going to do one more, but I want you to stay up this time. So breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to lift up. Use those bottom muscles coming up into that bridge. Now we're going to stay here, keeping that pelvis level. I want you just to drop your bottom down an inch and then lift it up an inch. So we're going to drop down an inch, lift up an inch. And we're really using these bottom muscles to squeeze and lift back up, drop down, squeeze and lift back up, and dropping down, squeeze and lift back up. So as we drop down, then we squeeze and lift back up. So really kicking those bottom muscles in as you drop down and then lift up. And again, drop down and lift up. Good. And again, drop down. Squeeze the bottom, lift up. So really working those bottom muscles. Good. And drop down, lift up. And drop down, lift up. Last few. Drop down, lift up. Good. And again, drop down, lift up. And again, drop down, lift up. Last one. Drop down, lift up. And then on that out breath, slowly peel back down. Ooh, and come back to that start. Well done. Bring those knees in. Have a quick hug and stretch that out. Very good. Breath in and out. Just relaxing down that little bit further if you can. Breath in and out. Oh, just relax from here. One more time. Breath in and out. Sinking down. Good. And then just lowering those legs back down one at a time. Coming back to that start position. Okay, so feet and knees still that hip width distance apart, that core gently engaged, arms relaxed down by your side. I'm just going to do a one leg stretch here. So we're going to bring one leg up into tabletop. From here, we're going to lengthen one leg away, come back into tabletop and then lower back down. We're going to lift the opposite leg into tabletop. Make sure we don't let that pelvis tilt as we lengthen that leg away. Trying to keep that nice neutral position of the pelvis as you lengthen the leg, come back and lower. And then opposite leg lifted, lengthen the leg away, come back and lower. Good. Lengthening here. Now either staying here or if you can, we can safely bring both legs up to double tabletop. And then from here, we're going to lengthen one leg, then the opposite leg. So keeping that tummy control as you lengthen the leg and then the opposite leg. Good. So keeping that pelvis level as you lengthen the leg away and then the opposite leg. Good. So keep that control. Well done. Not letting that pelvis tilt as we lengthen the leg and back. Well done. So breathing out as you lengthen that leg away if you can. Making sure you're keeping that neutral position of that pelvis as you're lengthening the leg and back. Well done. Last few here. Keep that control, keep that pelvis nice and level. My upper body's nice and relaxed, no tension through there. Just lengthening the leg. Well done. Lengthening that leg. Keeping the control. Well done. Breathing out. So you're lengthening the leg away. Well done. Good. And again, lengthen the leg. Let's do one more each side. And bring the legs back to that centre, and then one at a time, just lower those legs back down. Fantastic. Okay, so let's stretch out these glutes that we've worked hard today. So we're going to put one foot onto the opposite knee, allow that leg just to relax open there. If that's enough of a stretch, then just stay there. Or if you can, we're going to bring the other leg up and towards you, just as far as you feel comfortable, to where you feel that stretch into that bottom back of the thigh here. We're going to hold the stretch, breathing in and out. On that out breath, if you can, just sink down into that stretch a little bit further if you can, breathing in and out. Good. If you still can't feel it, just drop to that side you're holding slightly just to feel that stretch a little bit more as you're breathing in and out. On that out breath, just dropping down that little bit further. Well done. Breath in and out, sinking down. Good. Relaxing into that stretch. Well done. Breath in and out. Good. And then just relax that leg back down. Very good. Okay, let's do the same on the opposite side. So opposite foot onto the other knee. Allow that leg just to relax open there. If that's enough of a stretch, then just stay there. Or if you can, we're going to bring the other leg up and towards you, just as far as you feel comfortable, to where you feel that stretch into that bottom. And we're just going to hold this stretch here, breathing in and out. On that out breath, if you can, just sink down into that stretch a little bit further if you can. Holding that here, breath in and out. Relaxing into that stretch if you can, a little bit further. Breath in and out. Good. Holding that there, sinking down on the out breath if you can. Well done. And then relaxing that leg back down. Good. Okay, so let's just stretch out our hamstrings, so knee up to the ceiling, going to lengthen through the back of the leg, feeling this stretch through the back there, toes pointing up to the ceiling, holding this stretch, breathing in and out. On that out breath, if you can, sink down into that stretch a little bit further, holding this stretch, just supporting that leg with your hand if you want to. I'm just going to hold this stretch here today, so just lengthen through, breathing in and out, sinking down, just supporting that leg with your hands. Well done. Just pulling it in towards you, but don't overstretch it. If you feel any shaking or pulling too much, just ease off that stretch slightly. It's just a gentle lengthening through the back of the leg. Good. Breath in and out. And one more breath in and out here. And then bending that knee and lowering the leg. Well done. Same on the opposite side. So knee up to the ceiling. Going to lengthen through the back of the leg, feeling that stretch down the back there, holding that leg, supporting it here. Breathing in and out. On that out breath, just sinking down a little bit further. If you can, good. Breath in and out, relaxing through the back of the leg there. Again, just supporting that leg with your hands. Just lengthening through, breathing in and out. Well done. Good. Holding that stretch. Breath in and out. Very good. One more breath in and out here. And then just bending that knee and lowering the leg back down. Good, so we're just going to come round and up into sitting. And we're just going to stretch out through our sides a little bit and our upper bodies with a mermaid stretch. So just sitting nice and tall, the weight going nice and evenly through those sitting bones, that neck is nice and long. I'm just going to drop one hand down by your side, take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to reach one hand up and over, letting the opposite arm just drop onto the mat. Breath in here. As you breathe out, we're coming back up to that centre. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, opposite side, reaching over. Breath in here. And as you breathe out, coming back up and over. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, dropping down, reaching over. Breath in. And as you breathe out, coming up and over from there. Good, and the same on the opposite side again, reaching over. Just stretching through that side, breath in. And as you breathe out, lifting that arm up and over. We do one more each side, so just dropping down, reaching over, breath in. As you breathe out, lifting back up and over. Lovely, one last time, reaching the opposite arm over. Breath in here. And as you breathe out, lifting back up and over. Fantastic. And just relax those shoulders, just rolling from there. And relax those shoulders back down. Fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed the class today. So remember, if you've got any feedback or comments or questions, you can use our comment section below the video. Otherwise, hope you've enjoyed it and we'll see you next time.